Imagine a life where your happiness isn't tied to the opinions or actions of others. A life where your focus is solely on your growth, well-being, and inner peace. As the Buddha once said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. This profound truth reminds us that true peace comes from within, not from external validation or the approval of others. Welcome to this transformative journey, where we'll explore why focusing on yourself is not just important, it's essential. Drawing from timeless Buddhist wisdom, we'll uncover practical steps to shift your attention inward, enhance your personal growth, and cultivate a life of fulfillment. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to embrace self-focus and transform your life. Let's begin this journey together, with an open heart and a curious mind. Lesson 1. Get acquainted with yourself. The journey to true happiness and fulfillment begins with a single, profound step: getting to know yourself. It's a journey inward, a pilgrimage to the very core of your being. As the Buddha once said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. These words are not just a gentle reminder, they are a call to action. To focus on yourself, to truly live a life of purpose and peace, you must first understand who you are. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth. It's the light that illuminates the path to your true self. Without it, we drift through life like leaves in the wind, tossed about by external forces, never truly grounded in our own essence. But when we take the time to dive deep into our strengths, weaknesses, desires, and motivations, we begin to uncover the treasures hidden within us. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves represent the challenges and distractions of life, constantly pulling you in different directions. Self-awareness is the anchor that keeps you steady amidst the chaos. When you understand your strengths, you can harness them to navigate the stormy seas. When you recognize your weaknesses, you can address them with compassion and determination. And when you know your true desires, you can set sail toward a destination that resonates with your soul. Self-awareness is not just about knowing what you're good at or where you struggle. It's about understanding the patterns of your thoughts, the rhythms of your emotions, and the whispers of your heart. It's about recognizing the stories you tell yourself, the ones that lift you up and the ones that hold you back. When you are self-aware, you make decisions that align with your values and aspirations. You stop living on autopilot, reacting to life's demands, and start living with intention. You become the author of your own story, rather than a character in someone else's narrative. Practical steps to develop self-awareness. Journaling is more than just writing down your thoughts. It's a conversation with yourself. It's a sacred space where you can be completely honest, where no judgment exists, and where you can explore the depths of your inner world. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your experiences. What brought you joy? What caused you stress? What emotions did you feel and why? Write it all down, without filtering or censoring. Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns, recurring themes, triggers, and habits that shape your life. Journaling is like holding up a mirror to your soul. It allows you to see yourself clearly, to acknowledge your triumphs and your struggles, and to celebrate your growth. As the Buddha taught, what we think, we become. By observing your thoughts and feelings, you gain the power to transform them. Mindfulness meditation is a practice of presence. It's about sitting quietly, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts and emotions as they arise, without judgment, without attachment. When you meditate, you create a space between yourself and your thoughts. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. This realization is liberating. It allows you to step back from the noise of your mind and connect with your true self. Start with just a few minutes each day. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. As thoughts arise, Simply acknowledge them and let them go, like clouds passing through the sky. Over time, this practice will help you develop a deeper understanding of your mind and cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity. Before he became the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama was a prince living in luxury. But despite his wealth and privilege, he felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction. He knew there was more to life than material comforts, and so he embarked on a quest for understanding and self-discovery. For years, Siddhartha practiced extreme asceticism, depriving himself of food, sleep, and comfort in search of enlightenment. But no matter how much he suffered, he could not find the answers he sought. It was only when he sat beneath the Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had attained enlightenment, that he finally understood the true nature of existence. Through deep introspection and mindfulness, Siddhartha gained profound insights into his own mind. He realized that the key to liberation lay not in self-denial or self-indulgence, but in the middle way, a path of balance and self-awareness. This journey of self-discovery led him to enlightenment and the realization of profound truths about life. Siddhartha's story is a powerful reminder that self-awareness is not a destination. It's a journey. It requires patience, courage, and a willingness to look within. But the rewards are immeasurable. As the Buddha wisely said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. When you take the time to get acquainted with yourself, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see the world through new eyes. You become more compassionate, not just toward yourself, but toward others as well. You realize that everyone is on their own journey, grappling with their own struggles and searching for their own truth. Self-awareness is not a selfish act. It's an act of love for yourself and for the world. When you understand yourself deeply, you become a beacon of light, not guiding others toward their own path of self-discovery. Getting acquainted with yourself is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It's the foundation of a life well lived, a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. It's not always easy. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront the parts of yourself that you may not like. But it's worth it. As you embark on this journey of self-awareness, remember the words of the Buddha. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. True peace, true happiness begins with knowing yourself. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and begin the journey inward. The treasure you seek is already within you, waiting to be discovered. Lesson 2. Focus on what you want. Life is a vast, open field of possibilities, but without a clear direction, we can easily wander aimlessly, lost in the noise of others' expectations and the distractions of the world. Focusing on what you want is not just about setting goals. It's about aligning your heart, mind, and actions with your deepest desires. It's about creating a life that resonates with your soul, rather than one dictated by societal pressures or the opinions of others. As the Buddha taught, what you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. These words are a powerful reminder that our thoughts and intentions shape our reality. When we focus on what truly matters to us, we unlock the potential to create a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. In Buddhism, the Eightfold Path provides a roadmap for living a meaningful and ethical life. Two of its key components, right intention and right effort, are especially relevant when it comes to focusing on what you want. Right intention is about setting goals that align with your true values and moral compass. It's about asking yourself, what do I truly want? What kind of life do I want to create? These questions help you clarify your desires and ensure that your goals are rooted in authenticity, not external validation. Right effort, on the other hand, is about the dedication and persistence required to achieve those goals. It's about showing up every day, even when the path is difficult, and staying committed to your vision. Together, right intention and right effort create a powerful synergy, guiding you toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. Imagine standing at a crossroads with multiple paths stretching out before you. Without clarity, you might feel overwhelmed, unsure of which path to take. But when you know what you truly want, the choice becomes clear. Clarity acts as a compass, guiding you through life's challenges and distractions. When you have clarity on your personal desires, you become unstoppable. You no longer waste energy on things that don't matter or get swayed by others' opinions. Instead, you channel your energy into what truly resonates with your soul. This focus not only enhances your productivity, but also brings a deep sense of inner peace, knowing that you are living authentically. Clarity also helps you navigate setbacks and obstacles. When you know what you want, challenges become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. You see them as opportunities to grow, learn, and strengthen your resolve. Practical steps to focus on what you want. Setting goals is like drawing a map for your journey. But not just any goals, SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break this down. Specific. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, say, I will exercise for 30 minutes 5 days a week for the next 3 months. Measurable. Track your progress. How many days did you exercise this week? How do you feel after each session? Achievable. Set goals that challenge you but are still within reach. Relevant. Ensure your goals align with your values and long-term vision. Time-bound. Give yourself a deadline to create a sense of urgency and focus. SMART goals provide clarity and direction, making it easier to stay motivated and on track. Visualization is a powerful tool for manifesting your desires. It's like painting a picture of your future in your mind, using the colors of your imagination. Spend a few minutes each day picturing yourself achieving your goals. Imagine the steps you took to get there, the obstacles you overcame, and the emotions you felt upon achieving your goal. Feel the joy, the pride, the gratitude. Visualization is not just daydreaming. It's a practice that programs your subconscious mind to align with your goals. It helps you stay focused, motivated, and committed to your vision. Siddhartha Gautama, the man who would become the Buddha, was born into a life of luxury. As a prince, he had everything one could desire: wealth, power, and comfort. But despite his privileged life, Siddhartha felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction. He knew there was more to life than material wealth, and so he embarked on a quest for understanding and enlightenment. For years, Siddhartha practiced extreme asceticism, depriving himself of food, sleep, and comfort in search of the ultimate truth. But no matter how much he suffered, he could not find the answers he sought. It was only when he sat beneath the Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had attained enlightenment, that he finally understood the nature of existence. Siddhartha's journey is a testament to the power of unwavering focus. Despite countless challenges and temptations, he remained steadfast in his pursuit of enlightenment. His story reminds us that when we focus on what truly matters, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve our deepest desires. When you focus on what you want, something magical happens. You become a magnet for opportunities, resources, and people who can help you achieve your goals. But more importantly, you inspire others to do the same. Your clarity and determination create a ripple effect, touching the lives of those around you. You become a living example of what's possible when we align our actions with our true desires. Focusing on what you want is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong journey. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to stay true to yourself, even when the path is difficult. As the Buddha wisely said, the way is not in the sky. The way is in the heart. True fulfillment comes from within, from aligning your actions with your deepest desires and values. So take a moment to reflect. What do you truly want? What kind of life do you want to create? Once you have clarity, take the first step. Set your intentions, visualize your success, and commit to the journey. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And every step you take toward your goals brings you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Lesson 3. Make a self-care plan. In the hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to forget the most important person in the room, yourself. We pour our energy into work, relationships, and responsibilities, often neglecting the very foundation of our well-being, our body, mind, and spirit. But here's the truth: self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the gentle act of nurturing yourself so that you can show up fully in the world, not just for others, but for yourself. As the Buddha wisely said, to keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear. These words are a profound reminder that self-care is not selfish. It's an act of love and respect for the life you've been given. In Buddhism, the middle way is a guiding principle that advocates for balance and moderation. It's about avoiding the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification, finding harmony between the two. This concept is deeply rooted in the story of Siddhartha Gautama, who after years of extreme asceticism realized that neither indulgence nor deprivation led to enlightenment. Instead, it was through balance, nurturing the body, mind, and spirit, that he found the path to true peace. The middle way teaches us that self-care is not about pampering ourselves endlessly or pushing ourselves to the brink of exhaustion. It's about listening to our needs, honoring our limits, and creating a life that sustains us on every level. Imagine a tree. Its roots are its foundation, drawing nourishment from the earth. Its trunk is strong and steady, supporting the branches that reach toward the sky. Now imagine if that tree were neglected, its roots starved, its trunk weakened, its branches withering. Could it thrive? Could it bear fruit? The same is true for us. When we neglect self-care, we weaken our foundation. We become more susceptible to stress, burnout, and illness. But when we prioritize self-care, we build resilience. We become like that strong, healthy tree, rooted, steady, and capable of weathering life's storms. Self-care is not just about physical health. It's about nurturing your mental and emotional well-being too. It's about creating space for rest, reflection, and joy. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle challenges, pursue your goals, and show up as your best self in every area of life. Practical steps to develop a self-care plan. A daily routine is like a melody, a harmonious rhythm that guides your day. It's not about rigidity or perfection. It's about creating a structure that supports your well-being. Physical activity. Movement is medicine for the body and soul. Whether it's a morning walk, yoga, or dancing in your living room, find a form of exercise that brings you joy. Healthy eating. Nourish your body with wholesome, nutritious foods. Remember, food is not just fuel, it's an act of self-love. Relaxation. Carve out time each day to unwind. This could be reading a book, taking a bath, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea. A daily routine doesn't have to be elaborate. Even small, consistent acts of self-care can have a profound impact over time. Meditation and mindfulness are cornerstones of self-care. They allow you to step away from the chaos of life and reconnect with your inner self. Meditation. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them and let them go, like clouds passing through the sky. This practice helps calm the mind and cultivate inner peace. Mindfulness. Bring mindfulness into your daily activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or washing dishes, be fully present in the moment. Notice the sensations, the sounds, the smells. This practice helps you stay grounded and appreciate the simple joys of life. Meditation and mindfulness are not just practices, they're gifts you give yourself. They remind you that you are enough, just as you are, in this moment. Before he became the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama lived a life of extremes. As a prince, he indulged in every luxury imaginable, but when he realized that material wealth could not bring true happiness, he renounced his royal life and embraced extreme asceticism. For years, he deprived himself of food, sleep, and comfort, believing that self-mortification would lead to enlightenment. But it didn't. Instead, Siddhartha found himself weak, exhausted, and no closer to the truth he sought. It was only when he accepted a bowl of rice milk from a kind villager and allowed himself to rest that he realized the importance of balance. This moment of self-care was a turning point in his journey. Siddhartha discovered the middle way, a path of moderation and balance. He realized that true enlightenment could not be found through self-indulgence or self-denial, but through nurturing the body, mind, and spirit. This realization led him to enlightenment and the birth of Buddhism. Siddhartha's story is a powerful reminder that self-care is not a sign of weakness. It's a path to strength and wisdom. When you prioritize self-care, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself. You become more patient, more compassionate, and more present in your relationships. You inspire others to take care of themselves, creating a culture of well-being and kindness. Self-care is not just about you, it's about the world you create around you. When you nurture yourself, you nurture the world. Creating a self-care plan is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It's a commitment to your well-being, a promise to honor your body, mind, and spirit. It's not always easy. Life has a way of pulling us in a million directions, but it's worth it. As the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. True peace begins with self-care. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Listen to the answer and then take the first step toward nurturing yourself. Remember, you are worthy of love, care, and attention, not just from others, but from yourself. Embrace the middle way, find your balance, and watch as your life blossoms into one of joy, peace, and fulfillment. Lesson 4. Practice self-compassion. Life is a journey filled with highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks. In moments of failure or difficulty, it's easy to be our own harshest critic. We berate ourselves for mistakes, dwell on our shortcomings, and forget that imperfection is an inherent part of being human. But what if, instead of judging ourselves, we offered ourselves the same kindness and understanding we so freely give to others? This is the essence of self-compassion. A gentle, nurturing practice that allows us to embrace our humanity with love and grace. As the Buddha beautifully expressed, you can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself. And that person is not to be found anywhere. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. These words are a profound reminder that self-compassion is not just a nice-to-have, it's a necessity for living a life of peace and fulfillment. In Buddhism, two core principles, metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion, form the foundation of self-compassion. Metta is the practice of extending unconditional love and goodwill, first to ourselves and then to others. It's about cultivating a heart that is open, warm, and free from judgment. Karuna is the practice of recognizing suffering, our own and others, and responding with empathy and care. It's about being present with pain, not turning away from it, and offering comfort and understanding. Together, these practices teach us that self-compassion is not self-indulgence or selfishness. It's an act of courage, a willingness to face our struggles with an open heart and a gentle spirit. Imagine you're walking through a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and you're drenched to the bone. In that moment, what do you need most? A warm blanket, a comforting word, a safe place to rest. Self-compassion is that warm blanket for your soul. It's the inner voice that says it's okay, you're doing your best, you're not alone. When we practice self-compassion, we create a safe space within ourselves, a sanctuary where we can retreat during life's storms. This practice reduces self-criticism, which often feels like a relentless inner critic tearing us down. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, we see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Self-compassion also fosters resilience. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we're better equipped to bounce back from challenges. We become like a tree with deep roots, able to withstand the strongest winds because we're grounded in self-love and acceptance. Practical steps to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion meditation is a powerful way to cultivate kindness toward yourself. Here's how to practice it. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Bring to mind a situation where you were harsh on yourself, a mistake you made, a failure you experienced, or a moment of self-doubt. Imagine someone you deeply care about, a friend, a family member, or even a pet, going through the same situation. How would you respond to them? What words of comfort would you offer? Now turn that same compassion toward yourself. Silently repeat phrases like, "May I be kind to myself. May I forgive myself. May I accept myself as I am." Allow these words to sink into your heart, like warm sunlight melting away the cold. This practice helps you reconnect with your innate worthiness and reminds you that you too deserve love and care. Writing can be a deeply healing practice. When you write a compassionate letter to yourself, you create a tangible expression of self-love. Here's how to do it. Think of a specific failure or setback you've experienced. It could be something recent or from the past. Write a letter to yourself as if you were writing to a dear friend. Use kind, understanding language. Acknowledge your feelings, validate your experiences, and offer words of encouragement. For example, you might write, "Dear your name, I know you're feeling disappointed right now, and that's okay. You're human, and humans make mistakes. Remember, this setback doesn't define you. You're still worthy, still capable, and still loved." Take a deep breath and know that brighter days are ahead. This exercise helps you shift from self-criticism to self-compassion, creating a more nurturing relationship with yourself. Before he became the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama practiced extreme asceticism in his quest for enlightenment. He deprived himself of food, sleep, and comfort, believing that self-mortification would lead to spiritual awakening. But despite his efforts, he found himself weak, exhausted, and no closer to the truth he sought. One day, a young woman named Sujata offered Siddhartha a bowl of rice milk. At first, he hesitated, fearing that accepting this nourishment would mean giving up his spiritual path. But then he realized something profound. True enlightenment could not be found through self-punishment. It required balance, a middle way that honored both the body and the spirit. This moment of self-compassion was a turning point in Siddhartha's journey. By nourishing his body and mind, he found the clarity and strength needed to attain enlightenment. His story reminds us that self-compassion is not a sign of weakness. It's a path to wisdom and liberation. When you practice self-compassion, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself. You become more patient, more understanding, and more compassionate toward others. Your kindness becomes a beacon of light, inspiring those around you to treat themselves and others with the same care and respect. Self-compassion is not just about you, it's about the world you create. When you nurture yourself, you nurture the world. Practicing self-compassion is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It's a reminder that you are worthy of love, just as you are, flaws, mistakes, and all. It's a commitment to treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you so freely offer to others. As the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. True peace begins with self-compassion. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and whisper to yourself, "I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved." Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Every step you take towards self-compassion brings you closer to a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Embrace this practice and watch as your heart blossoms into a garden of love, for yourself and for the world. In this video, we've explored the importance of focusing on yourself, drawing inspiration from Buddhist wisdom. By understanding yourself, setting clear goals, practicing self-care, and cultivating self-compassion, you can create a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Remember, true happiness comes from within. As the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. By focusing on yourself, you not only enhance your own well-being, but also create a positive ripple effect in the world around you. Take the first step today. Embrace self-focus and watch as your life transforms with each deliberate choice toward personal growth and happiness. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more insights and wisdom in our upcoming videos. Until next time, spread positivity and keep growing on your journey.